Welcome to Full Court Sundays. Yes, it's a blessing to be here. I am so happy to be here today again. Got a special guest on here today. He's returning. He was my first or second guest on the show, and he's back again. My little brother, Detroit legend, NBA great, Carlos Smooth Rogers.
Where you got smooth from?
What you mean where I get the smooth from, man?
Where that smooth come from?
Man, you smooth, man. I mean, everything you do, you smooth. You 7 feet with a wingspan of 10 feet, 11 feet. You can handle the ball like a guard. You can shoot the ball like a guard. You run the flow like a guard. You run the flow like a guard. You do everything like a guard. So that's the smoothness. You shoot the three, you pass it, all the handles. I mean, I don't know if these guys really know that about you, but you know.
They don't know about it. Well, the people I played against, they know. Like
Right.
D. Kerr and them guys. They know. But a whole lot of people don't really know that I patterned myself after Isaiah Thomas. A lot of people don't know that. I didn't have a big guy to look at, you know.
Right.
So I always looked at Isaiah Thomas. He was the best player on the Pistons team, so I didn't have nobody else to look at as far as talent. So Isaiah Thomas was the guard that I patterned everything after. All my moves to the basket, I did it with finger rolls. I wasn't dunking.
Right.
I was going to the basket, dribbling, and shooting finger rolls. I didn't do none of them all that stuff big guys do. I didn't do none of that. I was a guard, and then I grew to 7 foot.
Right. Tell us about, for the fans that's watching that don't know, tell us about your high school career into college. Let's resurface that again. Let's talk about that.
A lot of people don't know about when I got recruited in high school. I was at St. Cecilia playing in the summer league.
Right.
So I didn't play my freshman year, my sophomore year, or my junior year.
Okay.
So my junior year in the summertime, I started playing at the Saint.
Okay.
And that day I went up to the Saint. Arkansas Little Rock was there. The coach from Arkansas Little Rock,
Okay.
Jim Black. So soon as the game was over with, he walked up to me. He was like, we want to offer you a scholarship. I said, to go where? He said, Arkansas Little Rock. Then he said, we have Carl Brown down there and
Right.
Johnny Bell and James Womack. He started naming all the people that was down there from Detroit. So,
Hey, one sec. Give it up to Carl Brown. My boy. Hey, a great career in Germany and naturalized over there. Great player. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So soon as they offered me a scholarship, I signed it immediately. So because I hadn't had no colleges talking to me because they hadn't seen me play.
Right.
So after I signed with Arkansas Little Rock, that following year I played.
Right.
I averaged about 27, 28 as a high school ball player, about 16, 17 boards, 7 to 8 block shots.
Wow.
Then Michigan and Michigan State and all those schools was trying to sign me. But I had already signed with Arkansas. Yeah. So that's what a lot of people didn't know. They was thinking like, how did you end up at a little school? I didn't know it was a little school. I just signed with the first school that offered me a scholarship.
And you was happy.
Yeah, I didn't really. One thing about education that most black families don't know, they don't know about higher learning,
Right.
So I didn't know anything about college. That conversation wasn't going on in my household.
Right.
So when somebody come and offer you a scholarship to college, it's like, yeah, okay, but you don't really have no real emphasis understanding in what it is.
Exactly. Exactly. And plus, it was such a big thing for a kid to graduate from school back then and get your education for free. That's all we thought about.
That's all we thought about.
We got to go to college,
yeah,
you know.
My mom started talking about it like, we ain't got no money for you to go to school.
Right.
That's the first thing she said.
Right.
That's what our conversation in the house was about.
Right.
We ain't got no money to go to school, So then,
you ain't got no money.
Yeah. So it was you have an option. Either you get a job or you figure out going to school. That's the only way you can stay in the house past 18. Yeah. You have a job to contribute to the bills, or you go to higher learning.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I didn't really choose higher learning. Higher learning chose me, So I had no interest in college. I never even talked about it to anybody.
Right.
So that's how my journey got started.
Got started there, and then that's where you was going to sign. But then something happened, and you ended up somewhere else. Tell us about that.
I actually went into Arkansas. I went down there with Carl and Johnny and them guys. And
right.
Right when I got there, Mike Newell went to another school. He went to, he was the head coach at Arkansas Little Rock. So Mike Newell transferred to Lamar University, and he wanted me to come with him. And I didn't want to sit out another year. So I just stayed there, not knowing who they was going to name as the coach. And I stayed, and they named Jim Platt from DePaul as the head coach. And me and him was bumped heads from the beginning. I'm talking about it was awful, man. It was
bump heads all the time.
Because it was things like, I don't have any problem with you coaching me as a player, but don't tell me how to handle my outside life. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Right. And I'm not talking about as far as doing nothing wrong. I'm talking about he was a Christian man and he didn't think you're supposed to be around girls. He didn't think you should go to clubs. And he was trying to dictate those things. I said, that's the things that you're not going to dictate in my life.
Absolutely.
And I was always verbal with the things that I said and believed in.
Right.
And most of those white coaches don't like that. They don't like you to talk back to them and have your own opinion. And I had one, a big one.
Right.
Because I didn't come from scholarship athletes. I came from the gutter.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
this scholarship I don't value it as much as you believe I do.
Exactly.
So don't talk this crap to me.
Yes.
That's how I, went about my life. And
wow,
he didn't
like it.
Nah,
at all.
And he didn't want to play me. So I saw that my career there wasn't going to be very long, and I had made for sure set up plans on getting out of there.
Okay.
And the assistant coach named Ricardo Patton, he was there while I was there, and he said, "Carlos, listen, you need to be coached by a black coach." So he had it set up so I can go to either Minnesota or Tennessee. I had already set those meetings up to go and meet with those coaches, and I had already talked to Allen Houston. So I wanted to really be with Allen Houston Jr. and play there because I thought
the great Allen Houston.
Yeah. So how I got Tennessee State is Coach Patton ended up leaving Arkansas Little Rock. And before I went to Minnesota or Tennessee, he said, "Los, I got the job down at Tennessee State." I didn't know much about Tennessee State. I thought it was Michigan, Michigan State, Iowa, Iowa State, Tennessee, Tennessee State. So I never knew it was a black school. I didn't know anything about the history.
You didn't know nothing like that.
I didn't know anything about it.
You didn't know it was an HBCU.
I had no idea. I know what
I'm saying?
So Coach Patton, it's the one I just believed in him because he took care of me when I was there. I didn't have much relationship with those other coaches, so he kind of filled in that gap for me as a coach, and he started talking to me and pretty much showing me the way. And when he got the job at Tennessee State, I didn't know whether he was the head coach or the assistant coach. He ended up being the assistant coach, but I told him wherever he go, I'll go with him.
Right.
And that's how I got to Tennessee State.
Oh, wow, man. And give it up for him for Tennessee State, HBCU. and you also are a legend there. Your jersey's retired. They call you back to come coach if you want to. You haven't made that jump yet, but I know you can.
I'm in the Hall of Fame there. And to me, after I got Tennessee State, I learned the history of it. And the most amazing thing that made me really take pride in it is seeing that Wilma Rudolph went there. And when I was little, I seen the Wilma Rudolph story.
Right.
So to know that she was a part of that history, I wanted to make my own history there.
Well, tell us what that story is so the fans will know.
Well, Wilma Rudolph was one of the greatest track stars in American history. You know, she went to Tennessee State and she ran for the Tiger Bills. And when I was young, I seen that story because she started off as a kid with polio. And she ended up building her body up to the person that she is. And to me, that's an amazing story.
Wow.
No matter what you're born with or what you go through, you can change things. And that change, to me, transformation that she made is the one I made from Arkansas to Tennessee.
Wow.
Once I got to Tennessee, I took on a different role. And I got to give credit to Carl Brown, James Scott, Big Dog. It was a bunch of the older, Johnny Bell.
Okay.
They groomed me. They showed me what a leader looked like. You know, I wasn't a leader prior to that.
Right.
To them all together is what a leader is to me. And I took on that role at Tennessee State, and I made sure that I wasn't going to lose there because the only way you can make history anywhere is to win.
That's
So
right.
that's what I did. I took the whole university on my shoulder because I wanted to be that great, just like Wilma Rudolph and Richard Dent and Skull Robinson and all the great players that and people that went to Tennessee State. Oprah Winfrey, you know.
Wow.
So I want to be in that name. When you talk about the greats at Tennessee State, I want to be a part of them that roll call.
Well, you were, because you were drafted number 11 in the NBA. Give it up to him. What a great accomplishment. I mean, that's a great accomplishment, man. I mean, you didn't go to a major university, like you said.
Man, Tennessee State is a major university. What are you talking about? Do you understand the history?
No, I'm talking about North Carolina, the Dukes, the Michigan States, you know, and you come out and you top all those guys in the draft, you know, at a HBCU. You put Tennessee State on the map, you know, as far as the basketball. And being huge like they are, you know, it's all because of you, you know.
It wasn't just because of me, it's because of my team. I had a great team.
Right.
You know, we
There
had
you
a
go.
bunch of guys that played on that team that understood their roles. And a lot of people that play basketball don't understand their role on the team. I had a role, all the people had a role, and all I did was play my role at Tennessee State. And we all did it well, and we made ourselves accountable for each other. And the one thing I can say about those guys at Tennessee State, man, some of them was like those good old country boys, you know, so they had that southern hospitality, so they was kind of nice people. So me and them was kind of like a perfect match because they wasn't aggressive and I was, you know, so I'm the aggressor on the team, and I kind of put a little bit of that in all of them. And because we had to, if we're gonna do this, we can't let these people just get no easy buckets, man. And
You can't let them score
so
like
we had to
that.
establish ourselves. And by me being from Detroit, that's the bad boy era. So I put some of that bad boy in that team at Tennessee State. And not only do that bad boy, it was with it went through it resonated through the boys and the girls team because the girls hadn't won either. So we won championships together when I was there at Tennessee State. So every year we won a championship, the girls won too.
Yeah, the girls was winning too. That's unbelievable, man. Give it up for the girls too, 'cause I love me some girls basketball. They be balling, man. 'Cause girls, you know, when you coach girls, they listen to everything you say. But when you coach boys, you be like, man, don't take that ball behind your back, man, 'cause they gonna
still gonna take it behind.
He's still gonna take it behind his back. But girls follow the instructions to the T, man.
Right.
And then, man, you went on to have a great career in the NBA. You played 10 years, I think. It's just unbelievable, man. I followed your career. And then you and I had a chance to meet and play down at St. Cecilia and stuff, and I had been following your career and following you. And I was about, you know, close to the end of my career and stuff, and I'm like, shoot, I'm getting him on my team, you dig? So I can have some help, you know, because the Saint is tough, you know.
For sure.
And we went on, man, and you took on the lights of everybody, Chris, Track the Trailer, Maurice Taylor, all the greats, Doug Smith from Detroit. And you know, you dominated them. You know, those are great players, but you set your mark on them as being great too in the city as a legend. And I always say, you know, besides you, DC and Roy Tarpley, I mean, man, y'all the greatest big guys I've ever seen play the game.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why he's saying greatest big guys. I'm one of the greatest players.
Oh, okay.
That don't have nothing to do with no big guys.
Well, you know, you're 6'11",
because that excludes you. if you say greatest big guys, that excludes you too.
I'm a big guy.
You a big guy?
I play big dog.
Yeah, you know, big guy.
It was amazing because some of the guys, you know, I can't guard on the perimeter, you know, so we be like switch man.
That's what I was trying to tell D. I'm like, D, I'm the guy who locked them guys up. Just play down low. I'll go out there on the perimeter.
You get out there and they be
lock them up.
Yeah, they be like, man, get him off me, man. I go down there and I battle with Chris and Track the Trailer and them, man. And Carlos be out there locking them guards up, baby. Because your wingspan, man, is unbelievable, man. And you got quick feet, so you play.
That's the difference between me and a whole lot of guys. My feet.
Big guys.
Guys. It's a whole lot of guys don't have quick feet because when I went to the NBA, when we had to do drills and things, I was still one of the top guys. It doesn't matter, boy. They wouldn't let me work out with the bigs.
Oh, you worked out with the guard.
Yeah, the bigs are big, man. When I first came out, I was 7 foot, 212 pounds. It wasn't nobody on that post like that. The smallest guy is probably about 245, 250 pounds. Wow. And that's a small guy in that area. Wow. Yeah. So I was playing against guys like Mark Eaton and Karl Malone and Rick Smith.
I know Rick Smith. Rick Smith, 7'4".
Shaquille O'Neal. You know, I got Elijah Wan. Them guys was huge.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Them guys was huge, man.
Yeah,
so
huge,
you know, I had to.
Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, them kind of guys. So that's a different caliber of
Karl
big
Malone.
guy. Yeah.
So you was playing the 4 or the 5 most of your career in the NBA?
I played the 3, the 4, and the 5.
3, the 4, and the 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I started most of my career at the 3 when I played. They couldn't do. If I would have played in this era right here, I fit right in with these guys.
Of course.
I'm like one of, you know how people say how DC and Doug, them guys ran the floor? They didn't run it like me. I really changed what a 7-footer looked like. You know, but they wasn't used to seeing that. And even as great of scouts that they are in the NBA, they couldn't scout a player like me because they didn't understand it. Because their first mind is, he's 7 foot, put him on the block. They don't understand. Now they understand it. You know, because you see guys like KD and guys who can put it on the floor and shoot the ball and go by bigger guys. You know,
but back when you were playing, they didn't let guys do that.
They wouldn't even let me dribble the ball.
Right.
You know, they didn't give you a chance to expose nothing that you can do. But I did it all in college. You know, so I figured if they scouted me, they knew that I can do this, and they didn't market me as this guy that we can put on the wing and really let him get loose against a big guy.
Who was your coach your rookie year?
Don Nelson.
Don Nelson, Golden State.
Yeah, okay. He wasn't going for nothing, man.
Now, who were the vets your rookie year?
Victor Alexander, Chris Gatlin, Tom Gugliotta. Well, Tim Hardaway was there.
Okay.
Chris Mullin.
T-Mac.
Yeah.
My boy.
We had a bunch of wily vets.
Did you start?
Mitch Richmond.
No, he wasn't there when I got.
Did you start playing right away your rookie year? Did you get pushed into the starting line, or was you in a rotation right away?
I was in a rotation immediately. The second game, I played like 28 minutes.
Okay.
You know, and I had like 13 points and 10 boards. So Don knew he had to find some minutes for me. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem about finding minutes in the NBA when you're a rookie. If you're exceptional, they'll make exceptions for you. But coming into the NBA, being a rookie that wasn't really a big guy, but wasn't really a small, it wasn't really a space for you. So they had to create that lane for me so I can be on the floor as often as I could, you know.
Right.
Once they saw that I'm consistent with running the floor and doing the things I was doing, they gave me a little more leeway to do it. But Don Nelson wasn't going for it. But Donnie Nelson, when Don got sick, Donnie Nelson let me play. You know, so when I was able to play with Donnie Nelson, I was able to shine.
You took off from there.
Yeah.
What was the process like before you got drafted? Like coming out of college, quote unquote small school, it wasn't North Carolina, it wasn't Michigan, like Twan said. What was the process like leading up to the draft? You had to pick an agent. You was working out for teams. Describe that segment before you got drafted.
Well, I didn't really have to pick an agent because a lot of guys, like Richard Dent is from Tennessee State, so he always was around. And Brian Ransom, who actually I picked as my agent, he was a great from Tennessee State. He was a quarterback, and he went to the Houston Oilers and played for a while. So trying to keep it in the family, not really understanding what's going on is what I did. You know, Richard Dent pretty much guided me in that in those directions. But even though I had an exceptional career at Tennessee State, it still was difficult for me coming out and going to those draft workouts because if it was 28 teams looking at me, I had to try out for 26 of them. You know, so I had to, right the day after our last game against, was it Kentucky? My last game against University of Kentucky, I got a phone call from Miami.
That was the NCAA tournament?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to the NCAA tournament both years of my career at Tennessee State. Okay. So right after that game, the Miami Heat called me and said they want to bring me down for a workout. You know, so I was excited about that because they said they had the 13th pick. So I was like, wow, they want me to go with a 13th workout. I'm going that high, and because that's the only time I really understood that I got that kind of shot in the NBA. So I went to that workout, and right after that workout, then all the teams started calling, and it got so many teams, got to the point where so many teams where I'll fly into Miami, I'll go and eat, I'll go and work out, I wake up in the morning, meet with management, fly out, go to Milwaukee, meet with them, go and eat, work out, then fly out to the next place.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I just got tired. You know, I was like, this is just too much. I've done enough in the NBA where I shouldn't have to go through this, you know.
Right.
I mean, in college, I shouldn't have to go through this. But then the girl I was dating at the time was an Olympic track star.
Okay.
She said, Carlos, don't give up. She said, this is the time where you got to be your strongest. Because I'm talking about, I was like, I'm not going to another workout. And she got in my ear and made me understand that this is a chance of a lifetime, and you just got to keep moving forward, and whatever this process is, just going to complete it. So I was exceptional at all of my workouts, and a lot of people didn't know I can shoot jump shots. So when you in those camps and stuff, they bring their big guys in to play against you. And I was going through all them guys like hot knives through butter. John Sally, when in Miami, I had to play one-on-one against him. He didn't stand a chance. So, and I'm talking about John Sally, the John Sally that I looked up to and admired as a ball player. When I saw him, I didn't see nothing but opportunity. So he had to deal with a whole lot. And because I was like, I need my shot now. And I gave him everything I had. Every workout I went to Milwaukee with Mike Dunleavy, I didn't miss a shot. Any jump shot, any place they tell me to shoot, I didn't miss a shot. So I knew I had a good chance during the draft, and I didn't know where I was going or when.
Did you work out for the Pistons?
Nope.
No?
The Pistons wouldn't touch me. I had a bad reputation in Detroit for some reason. You know, I was noted in Detroit for being crazy and uncoachable and a problem, and gang affiliated. And I never knew that, and I never knew how they had that kind of information about me. And even when they knew I can play, because I used to go down to Auburn Hills and work out with the Pistons all the time, killing them. We killed the Pistons constantly. So Joe Dumars, he saw me, and he was like, Los, I want to give you a look. But then when he took that back to Mike Curry and all them guys, I was too aggressive for the locker room. That's what they said. So they didn't want to sign me.
They regretted that. I know that for sure.
I dreamed of being a Piston. I would have gave my all to be a Piston, but they didn't want me.
Wow. Yeah, that's how the people out there don't know. Like, it's a lot of politics in the NBA, and you know, like you said, the struggle of, I don't want to do these workouts no more. You working out for guys that can't even play.
Yeah.
That's the thing that piss you off. You look at this guy, and they got you working out so hard, and you look at him like, man,
stuff that he could never do.
Right, and he telling you to do it.
Yeah.
You know, you got me over here running and skipping and jumping and telling me to do all this, but you can't play. So you get frustrated. I got frustrated too, man. It becomes very frustrating, like you say, going to these workouts and camps and stuff. And it's like, why am I doing this? You know, y'all watch me, man, play, man, all the time, man.
All these years.
Yeah, you know what I can do.
How many years did you play in Golden State before you got traded, right? Or did you sign a
1
free
year.
agent 1 year?
No, I signed a 9-year contract coming out.
With Golden State? A 9-year contract?
9 year, $15 million.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
My first
So you
contract.
played 1 year with them?
Yeah.
What happened after that?
Expansion draft.
Got you.
So Isaiah wanted me, and he told them that he wanted me.
Okay.
And when they started a new franchise down in Toronto,
right.
Isaiah Thomas told me a long time ago that he wanted me on his team.
Okay.
I saw him down in Chicago then, and he saw me at the workouts because I did the workouts on a fractured ankle. But I was like, I couldn't believe Marty Blake called me and told me, you know, don't get too comfortable because you might not get drafted. So you need to get up and go down to the Chicago workout. I wasn't going to go to that crowd. You know?
You wasn't going to go down there with
Marty Blake called me and made me come down there.
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to hurt your draft chances. And I was like, well, let me just go and go. And I went down there and I had turned my ankle. Terrible.
Wow.
And but I knew, like I said, man, I believe in the moment of truth. And, you know, when that moment of truth comes, I'm always prepared for it because I'm not afraid to take the chance.
Right.
And put my talent against anybody, even if I'm hurt. You know, I felt I was still better than most people. So, I had to play against Othello Harrington, them kind of guys. Them guys was wow, you know. But Donnie Nelson coached me when we played the 5-on-5s. So he saw what I can do. And Donnie Nelson called me and was like, well, Carlos, how high do you think we need to get in the draft? I said, well, I talked to Miami at 13. And he said, well, how was your workout down there? I would say, I did a great job down there, what they told me. So Don Nelson called me like, well, we're going to try to move up to get you.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Man, what a blessing, man. Hey, man, your story is remarkable because you didn't play ball that much, you know, and only playing 1 year of high school and then going to Arkansas for 2 years, then Tennessee, and then going 11th in the draft. That's a remarkable story, man.
Special, man.
Yeah, and then you come back home, man, and you give back at the kids you were coaching and helping at Northwestern, man. Your whole high school, man. That's what it's all about, man. That's what we was talking about.
No doubt.
Yesterday, trying to keep our kids here. And Derek Jefferson, he did a great job yesterday organizing the PSL game that you played in, and Carlos coached yesterday, and I commentated. It was great to see all the fellas, you know.
What are you laughing about, man?
I already know what we finna get into, man. Come on.
It ain't going to be that serious.
Great job, though, man.
It was a great job, great
Twan,
game.
you did a great job on the mic. I didn't know, man. We did not know what you was going to do on that mic. You was over there with John, what's his name, Whitehead?
Yeah, me and John
Y'all
Whitehead.
did a great job, man.
Yeah, and John's a great guy, man. That's my brother, man. But We had fun. It was so good to see all of the guys.
Man, great crowd.
Great crowd, fans, and all of the memories,
dignitaries, man. People we ain't seen in years came out, man. They had guys from the Pistons. Rob Murphy was there. Troy Weaver from the Pistons.
Troy Weaver was
there.
Grant Long was there, too. I didn't see him, but I talked to him this morning. He said he was there.
Oh, Grant was there, too. Yeah. We got to get those guys playing next year, too. Like
no
Grant,
doubt.
Grant Kelso.
I told Derek Jefferson he needs to try to market it and do 2 games.
Man, Derek Jefferson stole this from me. I want y'all to know that I can say it publicly. How this game started is I went on my Facebook page and I put on my Facebook page that the East Side ain't never had no good ball players and the West Side always killed them.
Oh,
so it was
man, that ain't true, man.
That's true.
Man, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
The basketball
90s?
game. No, I'm talking about this particular get it back going. Like the first 2 years ago when we first got it going.
Okay.
That's how it all got started on my Facebook page.
But you said the West Side has always been better than the East Side?
Yes, that's what I said.
Well, since when? The 1990s?
Since forever.
No. Heck no.
I'm talking about individual players. I'm not talking about teams. I'm talking about the best players came from the West Side.
Do the 70s count? Because I know you wasn't born probably, but do the 70s count? Because you heard the stories. George Gervin, Spencer Haywood, Eric Money, Cornell Norman. That's East Side.
Yeah.
So that's history.
I didn't never know nothing about that.
That's what I'm asking you.
I'm talking about
your era.
I don't know about my era. I'm talking about all the people I heard that was good.
So they never said nothing to you that was good about the 70s or 80s?
No, I'm not a basketball kid. I never was around people that talk about basketball.
Well, I'm here to defend the East.
Well,
we won yesterday, but let's go back in history.
Y'all did win, but y'all also brought some young players.
Let's go back in history at what you just said, man. You said the West has always been, from what you heard,
the better players.
And I'm here. I'm here to tell you.
Players.
I'm here to tell you that the East, for a lot of years, had better players too.
For how long? Okay. If it's been 100 years of history,
that's what we're talking about.
If it's been 100 years of history, the West Side has more than the East.
I don't know about that, man.
Yeah, then do your history then.
We gonna have to get this on Facebook and see what they think.
It's the truth.
I give credit to the West.
That's another show. We gonna have to come back. We got to do our research on that to see.
Man, we ain't got to do no research. How many NBA players from the West Side and the East Side? How many? The highest level of competition in the world.
Okay, I'll give you credit on NBA.
Okay, well, that's the highest level of competition. And we, from the West Side, make it to that.
But everybody didn't make the NBA. You had some great players who didn't make the NBA.
I mean, they
so if you want to just talk about
enough.
NBA rosters from the East Side and West Side, you might have that.
That's what I'm talking about. No, I'm talking about the greatest caliber of athletes. I'm talking about we went to the better universities. We averaged the most points. We did the most damage in school than the East Siders.
I'll give you credit on that.
Well, then if you should have knew that from the beginning.
No, but you weren't saying it like that. You were saying it. You were saying it the way you were saying it. I'm trying to go back into history.
We can go back into ancient history. And the West Side is still the best.
My high school had 3 guys off one team that made the NBA. Southwestern probably was the only other school that did that.
Okay.
So that's history.
Okay, but a part of your history, we talking about in 100 years. No, is the answer. 100 years. If it's 100 years of history, all I'm saying is, okay, Hatfields and McCoys, okay? If we have 100 wars, okay, and we win 70%, 80%, 90% of the wars, it ain't no competition. I mean, I understand what you're saying. You having pride for your side. But
I'm talking about the history of PSL, period, East and West.
Yeah. Okay. How many state champions come out the East Side?
I get it, man. I get it now.
No, you don't get it.
I get it.
How many state champions come out of the East Side?
I get it, Carlos.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. Cooley ain't on the East Side.
I said I get it.
Southwestern ain't on
How many state championships Persian got?
They ain't got enough to compare to Cooley and Southwestern.
In history? Or you just talking about the 90s and 2000s?
I mean, whatever history you want. How far you want to go back? To when it wasn't number white people there?
Go back to let's take it back to at least the 70s.
Okay, go to the 70s. Who was the state champs?
Persian won state championship in the 70s, didn't they?
I don't know.
With Spencer Haywood and them.
I don't know nothing about the East Side.
Your
All
history.
I know about the East Side is
You
that
gotta
the
learn your
West
history,
Side
Carlos.
is better.
Carlos, there was an NBA, there was high school basketball in the PSL in the 70s, man.
Okay. And
in the 80s.
And the 60s.
Yeah.
And the 50s.
So let's give credit to
all
those
of
guys.
those years. I give credit to all of those players. Listen to me. I pay homage to all greatness, all of it.
So I got some guys that told me they're working on a PSL only careers, right? Not college, not pros. So do you agree that George Gervin is a Mount Rushmore? Yes or no? From what you know or heard.
See, I'm saying what I heard don't mean nothing to me.
You got everything came. You just said from what you heard earlier.
I'm just saying, but I seen the West Side do what they did. I didn't see the East Side. I didn't know much about the East Side at all.
Okay, so you would be somebody that wouldn't want to comment on that if you saw a Mount Rushmore that had
Man, George Gervin is one of the greatest players I've ever heard about. So I would.
So he's a Mount Rushmore. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. There's getting ready to be a top 150 players of all time. So they did their research. They went all the way back.
Is it based on what? Is it based on winning championships? Based on scoring buckets?
Based on statistics, based on impact from the 9th grade to their 12th grade year, city championships, city championship run-up, state championship run-up, all the criteria. So what I'm saying is, I'm just letting it out based on what I was told. And I'm going to ask you this. Is the Mount Rushmore, if I tell you this, would you agree with this? But you're going to probably say, I don't know, because I didn't see George Gervin.
First of all,
the Mount Rushmore from what I was told,
ask your question. Don't
is
say
Joe
what I'm going to say.
George Gervin, Derek Coleman, Spencer Haywood. That's the Mount Rushmore from what I was told. Do you agree with that?
Do I agree with that based on the history of the state of Michigan?
Based on what you was told?
What I was told or heard.
Is that a good Mount Rushmore? Or do you think Carlos Rogers?
No, Carlos Rogers don't deserve to be in there.
So who's
I only
Mount Rushmore?
played 1 year high school basketball. So we doing now. We talking about just. Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah.
Based on busting ass, Carlos Rogers Mount Rushmore. But based on, no, I'm serious. If it's based on that right there, yes, I'm Mount Rushmore. But just based on high school performance, my hands is up.
From 9th grade to 12th grade.
I didn't play that. I didn't do that.
I got you.
So therefore, I got to hold my hands up.
But I heard you are on the list though, so you on it.
Well, I only played 1 year. If I made the list, then y'all wasn't very good.
You made it in 1 year.
You know what I mean? They wasn't very good if I made it in 1 year.
You made it in one.
If you played 4 years and I made it in one, then
I don't know where you at on the numbers, but you on there. I heard so.
Yeah. Well, he's supposed to be on.
He's supposed to be on there, right? No doubt.
Yeah, because the thing is, man, that there's so many great players, man, and the thing is, we can go back farther. We can go back probably to the 50s, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jesus from the West Side.
Hey, boy, you crazy. You got Rudy Tomjanovich and them from Hamtramck.
Mm-hmm.
You got some great players that came out of there. Terry Durod from yesterday.
And all them guys from Southfield, all them guys from Lathrop, all them guys is the West Side.
That's Metro Detroit, right?
Yes, Romulus, John Long, all them guys. That's West Side.
Terry Mills.
West Side. All of them is West Side people. So that's what I'm basing my history on. When I look at University of Michigan, when they played like in 89 in them years, those was all guys I can familiarize myself with because I seen them. They from where I'm from. So ever since, and that's why a lot of people don't understand what he did. He started the cycle of players going to Michigan. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people didn't pay attention to that. It's because of Antoine Joubert that them guys from Southwest and all them guys followed his footsteps. And I pay homage to that, man. Even though, like I said, I met against everybody in their prime, man. I got a chance to get a taste of everybody that wanted to get. A lot of people wouldn't play in the gyms where they can be touched at by everybody because they didn't want that stigma to go around that I bust his ass. But Judge took me to every gym around where all the run at, so I could weigh myself against these guys. That's the only reason why I know what I can do against other people. So if you see C. Webb and Jalen and all those guys, based on what we did amongst each other, if you say Carlos Rogers, they're not going to be like, oh, he was a scrub. They can't say it. You know what I mean? So, and C. Webb and all them guys are great players, but we still got a pecking order, and everybody know how it is. I don't talk about who at the top.
Right.
I'll go to try to smash the ones at the top.
Right. So speaking on smashing, before the show came on, we was talking to Smash, and we was like, Twan, you got a show today. So Carlos Rogers, you said you bust everybody's ass, right?
Yeah.
Everybody.
Everybody who stepped on the court.
Have you ever got your ass tore up as far as basketball, man? Has anybody had a great day against you and you gave them credit, or you just don't get credit at all?
It was one.
Twan raised his hand, so
Twan could put his hand down.
Twan ain't never did nothing to you on the court.
I mean, Twan is a scorer, so he can score.
Okay, so has he ever scored on you?
He scored on me.
Has Do-Rod ever scored on you?
No.
Tony Tolbert?
No.
He said no.
No.
DC?
No, I never played against DC.
You never played against DC? Okay.
No. The answer is no. Man, listen, people feared me. I'm not joking about that. Anybody, if he considered one of the greatest ever do it, me and him play one-on-one every day. I ain't gonna give you the results of it, but all I'm gonna say is,
you ever blocked Twan's shot?
Of course.
Twan, he blocked your shot, Twan?
Yes, man.
He got long arms, man.
It's hard for anybody. Listen, if we playing someplace, now this gonna sound kind of arrogant or vain. If we playing someplace and Twan is on the opposing team, and those guys don't know how to guard him, and I'm about to lose, I'll be like, switch! Switch! He'll be like, why are you coming out here on me? I'm like, because this is over with.
I'm like, why you switching, man? Why you
this
coming
is
out
over
here,
with.
man?
Ain't no more.
How many championships at the Saint you won?
About 6.
How many you lose? I don't want to hear nothing about what happened.
Oh, 2.
2. You
I
lost 2.
Yeah.
All right. We was talking about that before the show. What happened to the 2 you lost? Because I want to hear this again.
The 2 we lost was, I wasn't even a part of the season in one of them. Twan called me like in the playoffs, like, hey, we need some players. I need you to come out here. And I go out there, and it's a bunch of old-ass guys who ain't played basketball in God knows how long, and I don't even know how they made it to the playoffs. So now I'm forced to play in a 48-minute game.
You playing with these old guys or against them?
With them.
Okay. Who are some of these old guys?
He know them.
Do-Rod.
Earl Cureton?
No, Earl didn't play. We had Terry Do-Rod. We had G. Hope, Gary Hope.
Okay, Gary Hope.
And 2 more, and none of them could run. They was all out of shape. Just me and Carlos. And then we had to play a semifinal game, then the championship.
Okay, what happened in the championship game? You just said it earlier. You
that's the
Twan
one
out.
That ain't the one.
Oh.
The one we lost to Keith Bates and those guys in the championship.
Y'all lost to Keith Bates in the championship?
They have a squad though.
That wasn't a pro-am.
Bingo.
That was a 45
Yeah.
and over.
Oh, okay, that's not Saint.
No,
I'm talking about the Saint.
Only pro-am we ever lost in. I lost in 2. I lost 2 championships. I lost one with Twan, and I lost one when I played with Carlos. What's Carlos' last name?
Briggs.
Carlos Briggs.
This at the Saint. This at the Saint. Okay.
Yeah.
Beat him.
So I played with them, and we was going through everybody.
Okay.
And I played. Voshine was on that team.
That's what I want to hear about. What happened now?
We was winning, and we was about to get ready to go to the finals, and it was like 10 seconds left in the game. We was up by 2. All we had to do was hold the ball. Voshine Leonard came down and shot a 3 for no reason. 10 seconds on the clock. And they went down and got the ball and they scored, took it to overtime.
Oh,
and they ended up
y'all
beating
didn't
us.
recover in overtime.
Nope.
Oh, there
So
we go.
And the other time we lost, we hadn't lost any games, and we were supposed to advance straight to the championship after we won our semifinals game. And Jalen team and Jalen, I think it was him and Tractor Trailer and Mo Taylor, and they had everybody on their team. And what happened was Jalen and them was supposed to play the game before us so they can see if they make it to the finals. and Jalen didn't show up. So Glove was like, "Hey man, y'all got to play again." Like, what do you mean we got to play? Jay not here. So because Jalen didn't show up, I guess Jalen the superstar amongst us. So since Jay not here, we gotta play another game. So instead of Judge bossing up and saying we not playing nothing, we had to play semifinal, then another semifinal.
That's how Glove did, y'all?
Yeah, and Glove was my coach.
And it was the East Side crew. It was AJ, B, and all the Hootie. Man, it was a tough game. And we only had 6.
K2 was with them.
Yeah. K2.
So they had a whole big squad.
Chauncey.
Okay.
Man, they was good. They was in their prime.
So they sent y'all on your way?
No.
We beat them.
Y'all beat them. But you said you lost 2 championships at St.
I'm saying I lost that one with Beauchamp. Well, that wasn't even a championship. That was the game before the championship. This was the championship when Glove flew in 9 pro players.
Gotcha.
So we supposed to play against Jalen. You're only supposed to have 3 pros.
Yep.
And I think it was Jalen, Mo, and Track.
Okay.
Right.
That's supposed to be their pros. So they end up getting Ira Newbill. They got Don Reed, Lindsey Hunter. They had Doug Smith. They had
Greg.
Derek Dowles.
Was Rashid playing with y'all? Against y'all? Rashid, my little cousin?
No.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you talking
So Los, you got sent on your way twice. That's all I want to get out the way. All this you talking about, great salute to you, but you got sent on your way twice. That's all I
won 6 championships there. And just
let's move on to this
How
game.
many you got? How many you got?
1.
Exactly. I got 6 of them.
Okay.
So I got sent on my way because of somebody else, not because of me. Because I knew what to do. I asked to guard Jalen. Hold on. I asked to guard Jalen. I can guard Jalen. And he wouldn't have scored those points on me.
Right.
So I asked to guard Jalen, and Judge was like, "Get the fuck away from me!" So that's what happened. And Jalen ended up hitting 3 straight threes. We ended up losing by like 2 points. So that's how we lost the championship, hater.
Give it up to the great Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose. Yeah. Carlos was like, switch, man, switch.
He cussed me out in front of everybody.
I said, you know what? Back on your man. Because I wanted to guard Jay,
Right.
That's my little brother, all my little brother.
He made all the points just to say I lost in the finals. Come on, man. Ain't that crazy?
Hey, every time we come in the gym, Carlos say the champ is there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the champ is here. Now, what kind of confidence is that? That's major confidence to walk into a gym of nothing but pro players and say, the champ is here. The champ is here. The champ is here. And then bust they tail.
We used to have a ball, man. We had a ball. But the PSL game yesterday, we got 2 or 3 minutes to go over that right quick. Let's talk about that. That was a great game, man. The East and West. Tell us about it.
Well, great event set up by Derek Jefferson. Salute to him.
All right, give it up for DJ. He was here last week. Love you, brother.
2nd annual Legends PSL game. I played in it. You had a nice couple of quarters out there, man. But look, I'm gonna be honest, man. I ain't played no ball in not as far as cardiovascular, man. I was tired within 3 minutes, man. I was done, man. Twan roast me. I missed a layup. I missed a couple other layups. I got fouled a few times. I missed 4 free throws. But hey, well, check this out. I started a few fast breaks.
I made sure. I said, don't let him score. If he scored, we gonna lose for sure.
And I scored 8. It was an ugly 8.
I don't know about no 8.
It was an ugly 8.
I don't know about no 8. They got it on film. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
It was an ugly 8, but I got 8, man.
I don't know about that.
Look. The East, all I know is the East won. That's all that counts.
The East won the jump back game. Don't forget they got blew out last year.
We blew y'all out too. We was up by 20 in the third quarter.
Oh. Y'all ain't blow nothing now. Y'all
Man, you better go look at the
points.
tape. We won by 12 or 13, but we was up by 20 because you called a timeout.
Hey, I'm a coach.
And he put y'all in a zone.
Yeah. Hey, we got all men. It wasn't nobody on our team 40 but AJ. Y'all had 3 or 4 guys that was young. We had all guys.
That's part of history, man.
And that's why next year, history will be rewritten. I promise you that.
And I promise my cardio.
And I hope you guard me so I can show you how it feel like down there.
Hey, well look, real tip.
Looking forward to the game.
I love Carlos. Well look, here go a testament though. I was proud to see Kahil off there because Kahil had surgeries. You know, he told me y'all talked last night.
We talked this morning. I called Kay man, listen to me. You inspired me to do this because after all the surgeries I had no plans ever to play basketball again. And watch Kay out there. I like, hey, man, you have showed me the way.
I was really, really proud to see Kay out there.
Give it up to my boy, Kay Felder.
Yes, sir. Now, MVPs on our team, who carried us?
K2 Davis.
K2 Davis and Joe Blankenship.
And Chauncey.
Chauncey.
Yeah.
Hey, and my man Ziegler. Me and Ziegler was doing the dirty work.
Yeah, I ain't did no dirty work, man. I can't wait for you to do some dirty work next year. I can't wait. I can't wait to see your dirty work next year.
We did the dirty work, man.
Watch how dirty it's going to be next year.
K2 K'd y'all to death yesterday. Yeah. And Chauncey. And Joe Blankenship.
Man, we had a very, very old staff, man. We had guys out there
Joe
like
went from
57,
Willie Mitchell had a good first half.
50. Willie Mitchell didn't do nothing.
Yeah, he had 6 field goals in the first half.
No, he didn't. Get out of here, man.
He out of gas, man.
Willie Mitchell didn't do nothing. You gonna sit there and tell that story?
Hey, check this out. The first year we lost to them, and he didn't play, man, he talked so much stuff.
I talk every time.
Him and Lee Coward, him and the great Lee Coward, they went back and forth, right? Carlos, you lost, man. It is what it is. You got a loss on your resume. You lost.
I didn't play.
You coached.
They forced me to coach because the other coach didn't show up.
You coached,
the great George Ward showed up in third quarter.
Carlos, so I seen you in the huddle, man. We got video of you in the huddle.
I stepped in. Listen to this. Let me tell you what I am. I'm a team player. D. Jefferson said, hey, Los, we don't have no coach. Can you do it? I stepped in. That's how I am.
He's a team player.
Yeah,
I'm a team player.
But as a team player coach, you lost.
I take it. But you can't none of y'all on that A-side team look me in my face and say you ever beat me.
No.
Okay?
We can't say that, but we beat you yesterday.
All right.
No, you coached
not with me on the court. Not with me. Next year, you're going to get a chance to feel me.
Next year.
You're going to get a chance to feel me on the court.
You got to come in and see this game next year. It's going to be so hype.
It's going to be the third annual. No doubt.
Right now, it's 1-1. Hey, you guys got to come out to the greatest party of the year. We got the 80s, 90s party, September 10th.
Friday night
at the TV Lounge.
Mm-hmm.
Come on out, y'all.
Come on out. Doors open at 9, 8 really, but get there at 9 because it's gonna be crowded. We gonna have some fun. We gonna have great food. We gonna dance and reminisce and
nothing but 80s, 90s music.
2548 Grand River
TV Lounge.
Powered by Big Tree.
2548 Grand River, Detroit, Michigan 48201. And it's on is this west side of Detroit?
Yes, sir.
For some reason,
there you go.
They don't want to take the party to the west side.
Give it up to the west
to the east side. They bring it to the west side. So the party is on the west
Watch how many east siders be there, though. They coming out to see D. Curran, boy. It's the Judge, Antoine Jobert, and Derek Kearney of KE's The Supreme Court 80s, 90s Throwback Party. Friday night, September the 10th. Be there.
All right, and I want to give it up to my special guest, my little brother, Carlos Smooth Rogers.
Salute. Hey, I got one more question for Carlos before we sign off. We're going to change it up a little bit. Carlos, let's go hip-hop. Give me your top 5 rappers of all time.
Top 5 rappers. Hey, man, I'm going to throw this out here, and you're not going to believe this. My mama didn't allow me to listen to rap. So for me, the first real rapper I ever heard that grabbed me, and I was like, oh my God, he incredible, was Biggie.
Okay.
So he's the first rap. I'm talking about. It's been hip hop, hip. So he wasn't doing that. I didn't like none of that old rap back then. When I heard Biggie, that was a groove.
So he one of your five?
He one
give me four more.
Jay-Z.
That two?
He's one of my top.
Joe Beasy.
Let me see. DMX is one of my top guys. Busta Rhymes.
Three.
To me, Busta Rhymes is number one.
That's four?
Yeah.
Okay, give me one more. Give me one more.
Top one. And
one more.
Eminem.
Okay, that's a great five.
That's
a great five.
They got some serious.
You want to hear my five?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear.
The God MC Rakim, Nas, Jay, Biggie, DMX.
Yeah.
Good five. Good five.
You don't have no five. You listen to.
Y'all want to hear my five?
What's your five?
Tupac.
He not even.
Tupac is one. Biggie is two. Rakim is three. Nas and Joe Beasy. That would be me. Give it up for Joe Beasy, baby. Yeah, that's my five. But, hey, we got some great rappers out here, man. And, you know, I love all them guys, man. They doing their thing. I mean, Jeezy was here 2 nights. You know, Friday and Saturday downtown Detroit was pumping like crazy, man. and you know, we just got to keep going there.
Somebody on my page said you talk like the character off of the Bebe Kids.
Well, tell them.
Like, you're trying to leave me.
Tell them they look like a baby kid.
You look like a baby kid. You try to leave
I may
us.
talk like one, but they look like one. Whoever typed that in, you look like a baby kid. But I want to thank both of you guys, and we'll see you next week on Full Court Sundays.
Los, you lost yesterday, Los. The East.
Hey, I'm going to take credit for this.